Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome to Game 2 in a best-of-3 series played for the Intel Extreme Masters European Championship. The players are Dignitas Merz, he's the yellow Terran on the bottom left of Shakuras Plateau, and MTW Dimaga, he's the Ukrainian red Zerg player down on the bottom right. And these guys have spawned with this backdoor area between them with the destructible rocks instead of, up and across at these long cross positions that actually favors Zerg a bit as they get to expand basically everywhere if the Terran isn't, super aggressive. And the first game we saw Merz actually pretty much played basic. He was a bit more aggressive than Dimaga was. Around the time that Merz attacked with his first 15 or 16 barracks units, Dimaga only had a single roach and a queen there to defend anything. I'm surprised the game actually lasted as long as it did. But in Game 2, anything could happen. These are group stage games. The tournament itself is actually still going on. We haven't even determined who is going to come out of these group stages yet. And the European Championships, if you go check out the Intel Extreme Masters website, you will spoil the series for yourselves, as all the results are posted on the front page, but you will be able to see all the other players that are in this tournament, like White Raw, Bratok, or Bradok, however you want to say it. Cloud is in it, Nama, Kas, Jimpo, Naniwa, whole bunch of European players. Zocca is in, the German Protoss player Zocca, who's played in a couple of MLGs. Show is actually Merz teammate on Dignitas. And Dimaga is going to be taking a natural hatchery first instead of a spawning pool, so it looks like he is not too worried about a repeat of Lost Temple there. He actually went hatch first on Lost Temple and then spawning pool, and then a kind of a late roach warren without too many roaches actually on the field at all. But Merz scouting around now, gonna see everything, gonna see the spawning pool. Only about 30% completed, while his first barracks is totally completed. And with this rally point over by the destructible rocks, I have to believe that Merz is going to be going for some backdoor action rather than across the long running path to Dimaga's natural. So Dimaga may want to start fortifying his main. He did send that Overlord over the correct direction, the obvious first scouting direction for a Zerg player, but Merz with this Marine might actually score an Overlord kill, setting Dimaga back very early in this game. But I think he's going to be able to escape. He's going to need to stash it somewhere safe, though, for when Merz actually does break out, if he does break out. And Merz not wasting any time expanding. One Rax expand again. This time he's actually building the command center at his natural rather than getting that orbital command first. Dimaga is going to send a drone after this SCV, but it's probably going to be destroyed by these two Marines of Merz. So Merz with the early unit advantage already. Dimaga throwing up a Roach Warren. Anyway, Roach Warren, very standard. But Merz is going to come back with his scouting SCV and see what else is going on. Last time he was over here, he saw that hatch and that spawning pool. This time he's going to see a queen jabbing him in the face with its little claw-like, what are they actually? Talons, I guess. Yes, Talons are the queen's ground attack. And there it goes, taloning away. Come on. There he goes. There he goes. He saw that Roach Warren, though. So Merz has his orbital up. He has his expansion nearly completed. He is putting up a factory rather than some more barracks. So it looks like he's going to be going for a little bit more of a macro tech play. Dimaga, on the other hand, still content to just drone. Does not have a lair in the works just yet. He's still working off one gas. So we'll see what that first 100 gas actually goes toward to get a better idea of what Dimaga is going to be playing at this game on Shakuras Plateau. And there is the lair, so no Zergling speed, no Baneling Nest. He is putting up a second gas. Looks like potentially Mutalisks might be a good idea for Dimaga this time around. He's sending his first 4 roaches the long way across this map, not trying to break down any rocks, and actually Merz is not breaking down rocks either. I seem to have called that a little prematurely. That rally point for the Marines was purely just to fight off that Overlord, but Merz already chilling, sitting pretty with his 4 Marines inside this bunker. The roaches might not be able to get anything killed off here. They do kill one SCV, building a supply depot, and sneak in a little bit, killing off a second SCV, might get a third one. There's a third one. That's pretty much it. Merz even pulls his mule, which, I don't know if you knew this, doesn't have an attack. No damage off of a mule, but it can tank some hits, I guess, and he's going to let that mule expire just before mining anything else. Oh, nope, there he did send it back mining. But Dimaga is going to have a nice beefy Roach Scout come look at things, and he actually got an SCV kill there too. He might even get a second one if he can spit again. Yep. Kills that second SCV right as he explodes, so Dimaga gets a couple of bonus SCV kills. If we look at units, Dimaga is way ahead, 37 drones against only 22 SCVs. He just lost 2 drones there. He is putting up a Spire and 2 Extractors currently to be able to afford a Spire, but or not to afford the Spire, but rather to afford the Mutalisks that come from the Spire, and a Baneling Nest. So that's interesting. He's going Muta Baneling Ling against the 1-1-1 sort of setup. Actually, never mind. He's got 2 factories here with tech labs and no starports, so it's not going to be the 1-1-1 build. Instead, it looks like Tank Marine is going to be the starting build. Merz actually has an engineering bay out pretty quickly, so he could throw up some turrets if he was concerned about Mutalisks. Let's see what he's actually seen out of Dimaga. Has not seen the Spire or the Baneling Nest just yet. Oh, and Dimaga sneaking an expansion up at the top of the base. Last game we saw Merz actually scouting around Lost Temple pretty well and pretty often just to make sure Dimaga wasn't sneaking any expos, and this time he is going to be in the dark, at least for now. What else is going on? We got Siege Tech just cranking away there. Another barracks coming down. Still no starport. Oh, and Merz is actually blowing up these destructible rocks with a single tank, so he is not eliminating the possibility of doing some backdoor sneaky shenanigans. Dimaga looks like he's sending some Zerglings to the Xel'Naga Towers, most likely, just to keep an eye on things, but this Marine of Merz is actually going to find and kill this poor little Ling of Dimaga's as he is scouting around himself. Gonna get all the way over to that base before this other single Ling tries to kill him off, and does so successfully. So he's going to probably park out at that Xel'Naga Tower too. He's got the top one already. No, actually he's just going to continue on. Probably check these top bases to see if Merz is expanding. Since Dimaga is doing it, there's no reason Merz couldn't be doing it as well. Lots of Marines and tanks still coming out. Still no starport in mind for Merz. Looks like he's probably just going to be massing up siege tanks and Marines as long as he can. Oh, actually, he did break through his destructible rocks, and now he's moving across the bottom of the map with 4 tanks and a handful of Marines, about 7 of them. Dimaga right now only has 3 Mutalisks and a few Banelings morphing to be able to hold this off. He's going to let Merz actually break through these rocks. He'll give him all the time in the world. He is not building any Spinecrawlers here just yet. There he pulls some drones and makes a Spinecrawler there. He might be able to pick off a Marine or 2 with these 3 mutas without losing them, but these rocks are surely going to fall very soon. Some more Banelings morphing here. Dimaga actually putting up 2 Spinecrawlers here on the left side of his main. Merz actually can just leapfrog these tanks, send up 1 Marine at a time to get vision. That looks like exactly what he is doing. He sees these Spinecrawlers morphing in, so he wants to go ahead and siege up and try and take those out. These 3 Mutalisks are going to have to be very careful if they're going to stay alive. Lots of Banelings and Lings still hanging out up there. It looks like this Spinecrawler is going to be killed off, but this one's still alive. More mutas coming now from the natural end at third base up at the top. Looks like Dimaga's upgrades are going pretty steadily, as well as Merz getting that stim pack. He's going to probably need stim to be able to continue this assault with any kind of efficacy. And 8 Mutalisks coming in now, killing off a single tank. He does lose 1 muta to the Marine fire. Like I said, though, they cannot stim. Oh, wow, that SCV actually built a bunker and a turret there to protect against those Mutalisks. Excellent choice by Merz. Now the siege tanks can continue moving up this ramp and start shelling the drones. The Marines are just kind of hanging out while these Spinecrawlers finish. I don't know. He should probably be in there murdering drones right now, but Dimaga has a ton of Banelings now and lots of mutas still in the air. This Spinecrawler is actually in range of this bunker, so it is not going to be able to complete. Queen moves in and gets destroyed very, very quickly. These Mutalisks obviously do not want to allow this turret to complete, so they kill that off pretty quickly. More Speedlings coming out very quickly here for Dimaga. The Mutalisks actually circle around the back. I'm going to put them in a picture-in-picture, maybe? Nah, they just killed off 1 tank, and they're going to continue on to Merz base, so yes, I will put them in picture-in-picture. But Dimaga's still getting shelled. All these Spinecrawlers just getting destroyed by the siege tanks. Eventually, Dimaga is going to need to use some Banelings and Lings here just to keep his main from going down. This lair is starting to get shelled now. There's so few drones here. Oh, finally, the Banelings do roll in, kill off a lot of tanks and Marines. So now the mutas are free to start cleaning up. They kill off this turret very quickly, and now they can just hit the tanks unimpeded. There are 4 Marines here shooting up the drones, but he does have enough Lings here, Dimaga does, to be able to clean this up. So if we look at units right now, 51 drones for Dimaga against 52 SCVs for... hang on. That is for merz, of course. And now Dimaga is... oh my god. Okay, Dimaga is morphing more banelings. He's now got some freedom to move around the map here. His mutalisks are just going to hang out in the center to do some spotting. He might even be able to pick off some of the buildings on the edge of merz's base, but instead he's just going to have them float around here. He sees all these marines, does not want to press in there with just 5 mutalisks. He probably would lose them all. He's sending another scouting zergling up here just to make sure merz is not expanding. And they're on pretty even worker count still. Actually, Dimaga's a little bit behind despite being on 3 bases and a 4th coming up now at this natural expansion area for the top spawn. Back to production tab. We've got Zergling melee attacks level 2 and Carapace level 2, so Banelings will be doing something like 43 damage, I guess, against light. I believe it's 43 damage against all those Marines that merz has been building. He does have starports up now, though, and starting transition to even later game. He's building a 3rd command center here. Not sure where he's going to take it, probably up to this natural area here. He's got lots of tanks still around, probably going to be getting some medevacs out of those starports. He built 2 starports and no reactors, though. That's kind of interesting to me. Maybe he'll throw in some tech labs and do some Banshee play as well. But these mutas kind of poke in, don't actually do much damage there to merz's base, but he's just going to hang out. And merz scouting with SCVs throughout this game, just checking things out. He's going to get destroyed by this Queen of Dimaga, and... but he will see the double Evo chamber. The Spire is upgrading mutalisk attacks right now. Lots of lings here ready to morph into banelings at a moment's notice. He's got tons and tons of gas. Actually, minerals will be his limiting factor here for mass banelings. The 2-2 upgrade is nearly finished, though, so Dimaga might wait for that to finish before doing some sort of assault. Look at all these mutalisks flying around now. He's got 9 of them. Oh, and merz is starting to move again. Dimaga actually ran a ling straight into that army, so he knows it's coming. What is he doing to set up? He's got his lings and his banelings moving already. That is a lot of marines for merz. The siege tanks get up so late that these banelings are able to roll around and splash right past them. Actually, lots of marines still alive here for merz, but Dimaga actually picked off all his tanks with these roaming mutalisks while that was going on. So merz stims up, runs in, tries to take out this lair very quickly, is not going to be able to do it. He backs off and goes for the extractor and some drones instead. He stims again very quickly and is going for that lair now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it. There's more banelings and mutalisks coming in from the top side of Dimaga. Looks like he's going to be able to defend pretty well. Now these banelings are not going to be shelled by tanks. Instead, they are going to roll right into those marines. One baneling tries to escape and doesn't manage it. This queen probably going to go down to the rest of the marines here. Lots of lings still alive. He's going to try and get us around. Does not quite get it. All these mutalisks are actually going to be merz's biggest problem, as he is starting to dwindle on his marine numbers right now. Turrets are going up, though, to help against those mutalisks. Lots of lings still, though, available for morphing. Finally, 11 more start morphing, and Dimaga is actually lucky to still have this lair up here. Merz keeps poking in and not really doing as much damage as he'd like, and Dimaga is holding this still pretty well. Takes out an SCV there and a bunker. Does not lose a mutalisk to those turrets. So now he's getting back in position with these lings and banelings. Looks like he might want to confront here before too many turrets go up. But with all these siege tanks in really good spots, these lings and banelings aren't going to be too effective. Here he starts to move in. Oh, and look at this. This is just classic Zerg versus Terran. Zerg blotting out the sky with his mutalisks. Banelings running in, splashing all over marines and tanks. So they continue to move in. As the mutalisks take out the tanks very quickly, the banelings get all the way to the marines and help out the mutalisks by killing them off. And this command center, I don't see how that's a wise decision, trying to take that middle expansion instead of this nice free open area one. But you know, hey, that's Merz's decision, and he's going to stick to it. He's going to do this slow crawl through the backdoor area here, but Dimaga obviously doesn't want to allow this to happen. He's at 140 food now against 95. Still a lot of mutalisks in the air. Banelings moving in from all sides, surround that tank and the command center and the marines. There's still lots of banelings still alive. Mutalisks still blotting out the sun. So these marines of merz are fighting in the shade and dying in the shade. Dimaga actually pushes all the way to the side of his base before merz GG's. So Dimaga takes game 2. Excellent play by the Zerg player Dimaga, defending all those little pushes up here at his backdoor ramp and eventually moving across this sort of land bridge over to merz's base and forcing him to tap out. Now we will move into game 3. Actually, I'll cast it tomorrow, but you can, if it's past tomorrow, you can click the button and go see it right now. So yeah. I'm doing that as an attempt to keep the best of 3 series from being spoilered too much, so I hope you guys appreciate that, and leave me comments on your thoughts. So game 3 coming soon. Goodbye.